Hello everybody and welcome back to Dollar Tree Dinners. On Wednesday, we make dinner with whatever's in the fridge, focusing primarily on using up ingredients before they go bad or repurposing leftovers to give them a second life in something that I call Waste Not Wednesday. And it's actually lunchtime and the kids are here with us today, so I'm gonna try to make something I think the entire family would enjoy. So I've already gone ahead and shopped my fridge, freezer, and pantry. Let me tell you what we're making today. You can probably get a pretty good guess based on the ingredients I have in front of me, but I have some cooked bacon along with some chopped peppers and onions from my fridge. I also have some chopped tomatoes, some pickles. I have about half a block of Velveeta left in this package. And I have some cooked ground beef from my freezer that is still mostly frozen. And to finish this all off, I have a box of shell pasta. If you haven't already guessed it, today I'm gonna be making some cheeseburger mac or cheeseburger pasta. Let's go ahead and jump right in because I'm trying to get dinner ready within the next 30 minutes or so, or lunch. I'm trying to get lunch ready in the next 30 minutes or so. The absolute best part about shopping your fridge is that most of the ingredients are already prepped, which makes this so much easier. I scored a really good deal on ground beef the other day at Walmart. I went ahead and cooked it up, and I did go ahead and clean the fat. So this is beef tallow, basically. It's not really beef tallow, but it's close enough. And that's only a fraction of what I got out of it. I also got this entirely full container of fat that I've kind of been using. And because I cleaned it, it actually doesn't really have a beefy taste to it. So I've been using it for all sorts of things like frying eggs and stuff in the morning. I've set up my schedule in such a way that Waste Not Wednesday falls on the last day before I do a big grocery shopping trip or restock on groceries at all. So by the time I get to Waste Not Wednesday, I'm usually just using up odds and ends. Today I'm actually pretty stocked on groceries still because I bought a lot last week. So I probably won't be grocery shopping for at least another week, not a full grocery trip at least. Next week's Wednesday video might be even more interesting because I'll really be dwindled down a good bit. So the hardest part was that my ground beef was straight out of the freezer, so it's still really, really frozen, but I was able to break it in half, and I'm gonna be using half of that for lunch today, and I'll save the other half for later. It was about 2 pounds of ground beef that I cooked and froze, so that is about 1 pound of ground beef. I'll be honest with you about this ground beef. It was from that very first Taco Bell at Home video that I made about 3 weeks ago, and I tested out boiling the ground beef, but I forgot to record it. So I had to boil more ground beef for that video, and so that's why I had this kind of frozen in my freezer. But even when mistakes like that happen, I just save it. I freeze almost everything at this point, so I have an entire freezer full of odds and ends and scraps right now. I'm not doing this one pot style, so I am gonna bring a pot of water up to a boil for the pasta. Oh yeah, this ground beef is also unseasoned. So let's add some salt and pepper. So salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic and onion powder. If this was just for Michael and I'd be adding in cayenne pepper or red pepper flake or even jalapeno, because those are all things that we really like on our burgers, but we're making this one really kid friendly. Let's add in our cubes of Velveeta, a splash of milk, and we'll lower that heat down to low and let that cheese just kind of melt down into our beef mixture. So I just tried some of the sauce and it's good, but it's not quite as cheesy as I would like it to be. I do have a couple of little bags of, as you can see, odds and ends of cheese. That was a tablespoon of pizza cheese. And I also have some cheddar in my fridge as well. And the great part about adding that Velveeta in there is that Velveeta American cheese has emulsifiers that will keep your cheeses from clumping up. So it's a really good addition. It looks a little odd because the ground beef was, you know, so finely ground, but it tastes really good. It tastes like a cheeseburger. So overall, I'm really happy with it so far. I cooked about 8 ounces of pasta. These are just some small shells that I had in my pantry. And already that looks, you know, a ton better. We're gonna finish it off with some cooked and chopped bacon, some chopped pickle, a handful or 2 of fresh tomatoes, and we've got to go in there with a squirt of ketchup and a little bit of mustard. Not a lot. Mustard can overpower really quickly. We're gonna gently mix that all to combine. It's a little thick. I do have a bit of a brutally honest review of that cheeseburger pasta I just made. I got a little quiet while I was plating it up because I was like thinking to myself, like, how am I going to present this? Because I really should have saved that shredded cheese to go on top just to make it look kind of nice. So I basically just brought it to the table and was like, I know this doesn't look the greatest, but it tastes good. It kind of tastes like a McDonald's cheeseburger. You know, I tried to play it very cautiously. Because I'm the one cooking the meal, I'm also more receptive of it in general. So I know what to expect because I've been tasting it while I've been cooking it. So my opinion doesn't really count in this matter, but I am giving you my family's honest review. And the youngest loved it. Took one bite and was like, got really excited. So he loved it and he cleaned his plate. The older daughter though, she took a bite and she's like, it's okay. And I'm glad that she feels like she can be honest with me about things when she doesn't particularly like them. So I was like, you know, if you don't like this, we've got some leftovers in the fridge, or I can make you a peanut butter and jelly. And she ended up asking for the leftovers in the fridge. So that's what I made her. And then Michael, he also thought it was okay, but he did eat it all. So I guess you could call that like a 50-50 split on whether it was good or not. You know, when you're working with what you've got, not everything is going to be a winner, and that is okay. We had options, and, you know, as a last resort, peanut butter and jelly. It was a mild success, and I debated just completely scrapping this footage, which I have done in the past often, but I'm not going to do that anymore. If I film it, I'm going to post it, whether it's good or bad, because I want you guys to know that, like, not everything that I make is perfect. And sometimes I'm just doing the best that I can with what I have. And that's okay. And sometimes, you know, sometimes family loves it and sometimes the family thinks it's okay and they still eat it. That's still a win. That is still a win. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Waste Not Wednesday. I am not going to be able to have a video for Throwback Thursday tomorrow. I do have a couple of things that I need to work on tomorrow that need my full undivided attention. So I'm gonna have to step away from my 5-day schedule just for that. I'm hoping to be back for Fake Out Friday, but if not, I do have a really fun video planned for Saturday. I've had a lot of requests to bring back the vlogs, so I did start a new vlog and that will be posted on Saturday. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and I'll see you again soon. It's not gonna be tomorrow, but it will be soon.